George Lucas. The person who is Indiana Jones told us before. And the person who is the glue to all 5 of these films that gave us all of our rhythm and all of our melody, the great maestro, John Williams.
So, one of Kamran Pasha's Patreon subscribers, Mr. Ballard, basically discovered on property websites that Jon Favreau had expanded his Santa Monica footprint by owning 4 houses in one place, which is basically creating like a small version of the Kennedy compound in Santa Monica. Now, Santa Monica is a very tightly packed town, and this is basically like 2/3 of 1 acre. But if you look at a square acre, like a flat square acre, you could actually put quite a bunch of living space, plus lawns, trees, and swimming pools, and have quite a luxury house. Now, why he bought it for $6.8 million, and the other place that he bought in another part of Los Angeles is like, it's for his production studio. It's not a place to live. This is his main residence in California, in Santa Monica. Now, I'm going to question people who keep saying Favreau walked away. Favreau is no longer involved with Lucasfilm, and I know who they are. I don't have to say their names. You've heard these morons before. And I want you guys to sit back and kind of think about this. If he's out, why would he spend another $6.8 million? Think about the mortgage now that he has to pay. All right, mortgages for all this. Why would he pay that much money for this place if he didn't have a gig at Lucasfilm? All right, he bought a place. Okay, he bought another place. He now owns what looks like, when you're looking at aerial shots, an entire square-like block. The place was never on the market, so we couldn't get any pictures from the inside. It doesn't look like the Spanish style, Mediterranean style of the rest of the houses. It's contemporary, but it's got a swimming pool, lawns, everything. So he's added to his main residence, and to me, this just says that he's putting deeper roots down in the LA area, and this also kind of throws cold water on the black pills saying Favreau is gone. I'm going to put both websites that talked about this in the description, okay, along with Kamran's Patreon, so you can subscribe and see what he says. Usually when someone adds to their real estate holdings, it's a sign of stability, okay? I'm going to say this. Real estate is a good investment. It always is. Even if there's a downturn in the market, in the long run, owning property and having hard assets it's basically a better turn on your investment, okay? But let's go further.
I can't believe this. You're actually kicking me out?
Do you want me to draw you a picture?
We'd be here all night.
Get out! Not one more crooked word. Your tongue could open a wine bottle.
Never had an agent. It's not like she worships the devil.
Well, she doesn't have to. He worships her. Oh, she's horrible. I've made a ghastly, ghastly mistake.
But Kathleen Kennedy and her husband Frank Marshall are selling their Malibu home high on what, basically a cliff, high in the hills above Malibu, looking down on the beach for $18.5 million. I am going to say this: it is overpriced by about $8 million. And they haven't. It looks like to me they haven't had anybody seriously give them an offer. It's been, I think, on the market now for a month. So I think the time is coming for them to cut the price. But they're selling. Why? Because, again, as we've been told by Sparrow, Kennedy's done at Lucasfilm. All right, she's out. Favreau is on the ascent. Okay, he is, likely the one to take over Lucasfilm. I'm not shy about saying that anymore. I am now more convinced than ever that Favreau is getting the mantle of leadership there. He and Dave Filoni are the heirs to George's empire. And they are the ones that are basically fixing what was broken. I mean, last night's Ahsoka premiere almost broke me. It was that good. Okay, it was that fucking good. And they're actually going to have episode 5 at the theaters, and it's going to be Anakin Skywalker. Okay, now, but let's go further. So, George doesn't have anything to do with Mandalorian or these guys, right? Here's a picture from a while back, George at filming The Mandalorian with John and Dave, and we all know that he basically went over the scripts with them. They never, ever had anything to do with Kennedy on this, and, and Ahsoka is all George Lucas. I mean, you could just feel his vibe through the whole thing, okay? And he played around with the script. But now if you look at it sitting behind them, Kathleen Kennedy with a very pissed off look on her face. This has been set up for a while. And it looks to me like she tried her best to fuck them over with Boba Fett, maybe with Kenobi, even though I don't know if I know George did talk to Deborah Chow, but I'm not sure if he actually if Favreau had anything to do with it. But Jon Favreau, it looks like he's there to stay. He is, some people say, well, he's trying to build up equity, so because he's out, blah, blah, blah. No, he's not. Okay, now, that's a nice thing for a black pill to hope, because, if you're not doing anything else other than yelling at your computer about the EU or, how Ahsoka sucks when it doesn't, and being intellectually dishonest, being a black pill and saying he's done puts money in your coffers. Having to sit there and clap and be happy, if it bleeds, it leads. Positive vibes do not, put money in the tip jar, okay? And that's why they do what they do. But to me, seeing that Favreau just made this real estate deal, and now he owns that contemporary house and has been able to put basically a compound together, tells me he's there for the long haul. And Kennedy is going to have to probably drop her price of her house by $8 million just to sell it, okay? Because, and we haven't heard a thing from Sparrow in a while. And I want you guys to understand that the Horsemen basically have told people at Lucasfilm, if we catch you leaking, we will fire you. So anybody leaking has had to back off, okay, a little bit. But I do expect to hear something soon. However, I'm watching Kennedy's property closely to see when they drop the price. Okay, because I don't think they've received a serious offer. But the fact of the matter is, Favreau buying and her selling means one is out and one is in. Kennedy's out, Favreau's in, and how good Ahsoka is proves that he and Dave know what they're doing, okay? And anybody saying that Jon Favreau left The Mandalorian is absolutely being a fucking idiot, okay? And again, there are people out there in the fandom that want Favreau to go so they can make you feel miserable, okay? Don't let them. This is a good sign, okay? Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.